Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we're doing another pick a card, tarot, and oracle reading, and this time we're asking the question, what did they feel the last time you saw each other? So you can obviously ask about whoever's on your mind and I need you to think back to the last time you saw each other. This could have been a long time ago. This could have been recent. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what connection you have to the person you're asking about, whether it is romantic, situationship, friendship, family member, whatever. Okay? It could be anybody. I just want you to keep in mind, though, this is a group reading, so there will definitely be different messages for different people depending on the relationship that you have with your person. So if you hear a message in your reading that doesn't quite resonate with you, it is not your message, okay? I need to emphasize that every single video, apparently. And if you have like a very specific relationship with the person you're asking about and you really would like some clear guidance and answers, I just want to remind you guys that I do offer personal readings in my website, and these are readings where it's pretty self-directed. I have some readings that are more general, and there is a tarot spread that I use to help guide it along, and then there's other ones where you ask your own questions and can ask about your relationship, for example, with this person, go into detail about what's on your mind when it comes to them, everything. So, you know, I just want to remind you guys that is an option. Go to spiritpsychic.org, click services, scroll down, you'll see my readings there. I also offer life coaching sessions currently, which are pretty much hour-long readings. And then in addition to those readings, you get a week's worth of daily email correspondence, okay? So I'm not sure how long I'll offer this shamanic life coaching services for. So if that interests you, I highly recommend getting it now and get the longer option, because like I said, once it's gone, it's probably not going to return, and I'm heavily debating getting rid of it. So I'm just letting you know it's on my mind. Anyways, let's get into your reading. We have 3 groups for you to choose from. Breathe deeply and select whichever group you feel most drawn to after you set the intention for which person you're asking about. We have group number 1 with the rainbow moonstone. We have group number 2 with the howlite. And we have group number 3 with the rose quartz. This is one of those readings where I would recommend only picking one group. However, if you find yourself feeling drawn to multiple groups, that could mean one of many things. Number 1, there could be multiple messages for you to piece together in the different groups. And number 2, there could actually be someone else that spirit wants to talk about, who's still heavily connected to your energy, or is heavily connected to your energy, okay? So if you find yourself being drawn to more than one group, I would say just watch both groups and see if anything there resonates. And of course, you know, if you have a pile that completely does not resonate with you, you can go back and select another group, or there just might not be any messages for you in today's video, okay? With all that being said, let's begin. Number 1, welcome. You guys selected the rainbow moonstone. This is a beautiful stone for empathizing with people, seeing straight to who they are. It's great for if you're trying to really improve your empath abilities, your psychic abilities, your ability to essentially read people. I think this is a lovely stone for that. Okay, now grab yourself a nice beverage to sip on while we are doing this reading. I might pause a few times because I'm finishing off some turmeric honey peppery tea. But let's dive into it. So what did they feel the last time you met each other? Oh, we have new moon in Scorpio, work through your fears. Okay. I feel like they were pretty nervous to meet with you for whatever reason. It could have been a really long time since you last seen them, or it could have even been a first date for some of you. And I don't know, or like, you know what? I'm also picking up for some of you, this could have been that the last time you saw them before this time, you could have had a really big argument or falling out or something like that. Okay, so there was reason for them to be fearful. Whether there was a big falling out the last time you saw them before this, whether there has been a long amount of time that has passed since you last saw them before this, or it was like the first time you were meeting entirely and they were pretty nervous, okay? We have the new moon here as well, which represents that through this fear, there was also excitement for a possible fresh new start with you. Okay, so they were pretty happy to be meeting up with you despite the fact that they were a little bit shaky, a little bit fearful from within. We have the door to personal healing and happiness in reverse. Wow. Yeah, I'm starting to get a clear picture here. Definitely a lot of you who selected group number 1, you have had some sort of issue with this person, some sort of falling out, or some sort of space that has been in your relationship before you guys met up the last time. And during their time away from you, I'm kind of intuitively picking up that they weren't super happy. And even if you just met this person, by the way, when they were single, like before they started talking to you, this could also apply. They weren't super happy. And it feels like some of your energy sort of rubbed off on them a little bit, which especially happens if you had a sexual relationship with them previously, because that is totally an energy exchange. But even if you haven't, still, you've experienced an energy exchange with this person. And I feel like they're getting more into the things that make you happy, weirdly enough. Like, for example, if you're really into spirituality and yoga and, chakras and things like that, and they weren't really like that beforehand, your space away from each other, for some reason, triggered these energies within them. And when you met up again, they may have hinted towards them sort of somehow like getting involved in this stuff. Isn't it funny how that works? I had a friend who, for example, they were dating this person who was really into Magic the Gathering. And while they were dating, she like didn't get into it at all. But then of course, after they broke up, she saw that I play it, and she suddenly like wanted to start joining and was interested in learning and everything. I just think that's funny. That happens frequently, I feel. A lot more frequently than people are willing to admit, where it's like the things that your partner or best friend or whatever wanted you to get into while you were friends, that you had a resistance to, sometimes, weirdly enough, you get into them after you depart from each other or have some sort of separation. So I think that's pretty funny. Okay. We have Goddess of the Moon. Oh my, Goddess of the Moon, Scorpio energy. Yeah. Group number 1, I feel like you are people who are very spiritually connected, very spiritually aware, which isn't surprising. You're watching a tarot reading, but still. And this person really views you at this high level. Like they see your goddess energy or your God energy. They see your higher self in a sense. They see your fullest potential. And maybe that's what was making them a little bit nervous as well. Especially the beauty of you. The beauty of you. They're trying not to get overwhelmed, stumble over their words, or like overly compliment you, or how do I put this? They're trying very hard to control their gaze the last time you met each other. Because you showed up very glowy, very beautiful, in your full goddess/god energy. Okay. So I'm sort of picking up like they were trying not to like gawk at you with their mouth gape. Oh, and even if it's not romantic, guys, even if this is like a family member or friend, same thing. You can admire one's beauty without being, romantically attracted to someone. But, if that romantic element was there for you guys, then yes. Yes, they definitely felt that, but they were trying to control themselves. Wow. Yeah. Also, I'm getting something here, like they have a newfound respect for you. So if you did experience some sort of long time gap or separation or whatever, during that time gap, they started really respecting what you have in life and what you're doing in life, how you operate. Very fascinating. Angel of Love in reverse. This is very fascinating. I'm sorry I keep using the same words. Fascinating. But the Angel of Love really is fascinating when it comes out in reverse, because there are some complications here that you have with this person when it comes to your connection. Like I said, there could have been a previous separation. There could have been a previous huge fight. Okay, let me just read this from the book so you know I'm not like exaggerating when I tell you this. In the reverse position, the angel of love could indicate a possible disconnect in matters of the heart. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying here. Like, they had to really temper their reactions to you out a little bit, because I feel that their feelings towards you are a lot greater than they let on the last time that they met up with you. While this sometimes signifies a divorce or separation, it could also imply an emotional rift where two people stay connected on a superficial basis, yet at a deeper level seem to be going their own ways. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, if you went a long time without seeing each other, they really felt the difference in your body language, in your tone of voice. You almost treated this person as if, not as if they're a stranger, but some of the walls that you let crumbling down in the past, you rebuilt during the time of your separation or after the fight that you guys had. Okay, they really felt that rift, because previously, and I'm sorry if any of you guys, like, this is a new person. Honestly, at this point, you might want to pick a different group, because I'm really strongly feeling that this is, you know, a group of many people who have a history with this person. But, you know, in the past, things felt a little bit more natural and comfortable with you, but because of the rift that happened or the time that was spent apart, you came across in this last meeting a lot more like professional, I guess you could say, like controlled, you know, having some walls up, you friendly and warm in your goddess or godlike energy, you know, glowing, very charming. I'm seeing something about the smile, like, and your sense of humor being very quick and natural. Your body language, and when you speak, I'm feeling it comes across as very at ease, very comfortable. But the energy shared between you was not as comfortable as it once was due to this rift. And they definitely picked up on that. In this position, the angel can also refer to an old separation, exactly. If the longing remains alive in one partner's heart, that's what I'm talking about. They still have these old feelings. And you know what, group number one, maybe some of you also still have these old lingering feelings. And meeting up after some time has passed, you would have thought like they would have went away. But the second you met up and you started having this charming banter with this person, you know, at least in their heart, they still felt all of the feelings that they have towards you, as if it was just yesterday that they saw you before this last time they saw you. If you find yourself unable to let go, this loving angel is telling you it's time to release any toxic or unrequited attachment you may be holding on to. The universe is waiting for you to free your heart and open your life to the fully present and honoring love that you so rightfully deserve. Exactly. So I really feel that there was some sort of toxicity or major rift, major incompatibility that you guys shared in the past. And a part of them really wants to bury that hatchet and forget about what happened. And a part of them also really wants to open this doorway to healing and personal happiness with you back up again. But they feel like this opportunity has passed, or your doors are now shut. It's like they, how do I put this? It's so strange that there's such complicated feelings they had the last time they saw you. Because they are very optimistic and loved seeing you. You know, they love the energy they share with you. But then another part of them is like, okay, but I don't think I'll ever get a second chance. I don't think, you know, that group number one, your doors are open to them anymore in the same way that you shared with them before. And so they were doing some mental gymnastics the last time you saw each other, trying to shut down the part of themselves that has these deeper feelings, the part of themselves that wanted to gawk at you and just grab you and shake you and be like, let's have what we had before. They really had to temper that out. We have the otter and cattail piece. Yeah, there's something about when you two are together that feels very natural. Like, oh, here's Luna. Not nervous, not uncomfortable. So how do I even explain this? I'm sitting here telling you you don't have the same level of comfort you once had, but at the same time, this meeting was very comfortable. Like, the energy like you just talk very naturally. There's a lot of easy chemistry that the two of you share. Like, it's very easy to spend a lot of time with each other. It's very easy to talk to each other. It's very easy to be in each other's presence. And so I'm also feeling that you bring them a great level of peace that they don't necessarily have when they're by themselves or with other people. You know, when they're by themselves, they may get worked up in their head, feeling like they have to do this, that, the third, whatever. But then when they're with you, the energy you give off is just so mellow, and you remind them on a soul level, like, there's no rush to life, and it's all about enjoying the journey. And when you can enjoy the little things in life, oftentimes the things we're worried about tend to resolve themselves anyways. Like, you just give off this very mellow, peaceful, beautiful energy to them. They feel your energetic and spiritual impact and significance. You guys really radiate a very strong energy of being spiritually connected, of being at peace with yourself and the universe. Even though you have your day-to-day struggles like the rest of us, you know, compared to the average person, you have quite a tremendous energy that really, really puts people at ease. So yeah, they definitely felt that. We have the butterfly, change and transformation. I feel like the last time they saw you, they wanted to show off to you how much they've changed, how much they've grown, you know, some of the things they've taken on. Also, I'm seeing for some of you, like, they wanted to show you that they followed your advice or they listened to you. And I feel like a part of them also was desiring a change in your circumstances, desiring to get closer with you, to get rid of this weirdness. And we have breathe. Wow. Yeah, I'm wondering if you guys actually did have conversations that were like philosophical, spiritual, energetic in nature, you know. This is a beautiful card. Peace, relaxation. Also, the environment you guys were in may have been very peaceful, may have been a place where they could just unwind and let you in on everything that has been going on in their world. If any of you got physical with this person the last time you saw them, I feel like it was a massive release for them. And they slept very soundly that night. Okay, like, they just truly, you put them at peace. Absolutely, they love your energy. But there is some complications here with the Angel of Love and door to personal healing and happiness in reverse. So let's get some further clarifications and end your reading. And I am shuffling up the Guiding Light Tarot. So what did they feel the last time they saw you? Queen of Cups. Exactly. Yes. They thought you were so mature. They love what you are doing in life. Like, when you're filling them in on everything that's going on, they really admire how put together you are. They admire your relaxed nature. And the Queen of Cups is somebody, like I said, who is very spiritually and emotionally mature, creative. And again, like, you really are this sort of goddess of the moon, this goddess-like energy, or godlike energy, you know, but very soft and feminine. Even if you're a man, like, you give off the yin energy, the space that allows things to exist, the space to let this person be who they are and feel accepted for who they are. There's a very healing, gentle element about you that they are in awe of. We have the Seven of Wands. Okay. This to me is like fighting every urge that they have within themselves to like grab you and kiss you. Or if it's not romantic, you know, to just fully let their guard down again. And just get so defensive and go off on a list of every single reason why the two of you should be fine now, why the two of you should be friends or closer or whatever. They really fought that urge within themselves. Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I'm saying. You guys really riled up some feelings in this person. And, you know, they weren't thinking about long term. Like, okay, yeah, maybe we are or are not compatible long term, but... And this is another issue that I feel like you had in the past where they're viewing you as this Queen of Cups and they're viewing themselves as this Knight of Cups. So not really on the same level in life, not really on the same level of maturity. A little tea break. Okay. But they are at a good spot mentally, I think. And they see that you are as well. The Knight of Cups is definitely somebody who wants to impress you. If you went out for like a meal or something, they probably paid for it or tried paying for it, really wanting to care for you, treating you like the queen or whatever. And you may be picking up on this as well, ever so slightly. Like there's something about them that seems more, how do I put this? Like they see the divinity within you. They see how you are a queen, you are a king, and they want to nurture you and support you, whereas in the past they might not have had the insight and the maturity to really act in that way. We have the Fool coming out in reverse here. Whenever this comes out in reverse in a reading like this, I'm just like, oh, I'm just a fool for you. You got me wrapped around your finger. Do you have to let it linger? Do you have to? Do you have to? Do you have to let it linger? The song's called Linger by the Cranberries. Yeah, and I feel like that song really actually resonates. The lyrics resonate with how they were feeling. Like a fool for you. And really trying hard to resist proclaiming their love for you or proclaiming, you know, everything they want to do to you or with you. Everything they want to just blur out, because that's the thing. In the past, they would have done all of that because you had that level of trust and comfortability between each other, but then the time you spent apart or the big fight you had or whatever built those walls right back up, so they have to like temper themselves out, you know. And because you had healthy boundaries in the past, they see you in a much more respectful light, is what I think. Fascinating. Okay, we have the Chariot and the Queen of Pentacles coming out in reverse. So they're wanting to move forward with you. After this, they could have offered some sort of... Also, I'm seeing something about cars or transportation. You may have had a really solid conversation in the car. Like, they may not have wanted to, like, let you go, or if you're leaving, they didn't want you to go. The Chariot also shows me that towards the end of this meeting, they were wanting to see you again. You know, they really hope to see you again, is what I'm seeing, and to see how you grow in the future, and see how they grow in the future, and see how you can grow together. Like, what happens now? Like, will we continue being friends? Will we be something more? You know, they're really optimistic, and they want you in their life for sure. And yeah. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse there, which to me kind of does show a feminine energy that is resistant to change, or like not having much change in their life or your life. And I really feel like this has to do with their feelings. Like, they have not changed at all. They're still here, strong as ever. And also I'm getting feelings of insecurity within them as well. Like, I just feel like an embarrassment, or I feel like I don't have enough to offer. You know, maybe, for example, you own your own home and they just rent a room. You know, these feelings of inadequacy, which really is just inappropriate. Like, there's no need to feel less than anybody else just because they have more than you, or because they have certain goals, achievements, accomplishments. No, nobody is better than anybody. And I think it's equally as destructive to put other people on pedestals like that as it is to put oneself on that pedestal. So what else? Is there anything else? Where do they want to go from here? I suppose this doesn't have to be a super long reading. You I'm going to leave it there, actually. I think we pretty much articulated how they felt the last time they saw you. And they're definitely wanting to see you again. Obviously, this is a complicated connection. So, I mean, where this goes in the future, that's for another reading, all right? Comment down below and let me know what you thought of this. Tell the story of the last time you met if you feel comfortable. I would love to hear that. And did this resonate with you? Okay. Like this video. It helps the channel out more than you realize. The more you like videos, comment, reply to other people's comments, things like that, it boosts the algorithm and shows this video to more people. So I appreciate everybody who does those things. Definitely trying to grow this channel a little bit. I keep getting comments from people saying, like, I can't believe you don't have more subscribers. And, you know, it makes me feel weird because it's like, yeah, I post a lot of videos. I guess I know exactly what I need to do to get more subscribers, which is post way more love readings, way more frequently. Guys, I do also have a second YouTube channel that I'm very dedicated to growing as well, and I enjoy posting on as well. It's called Spirit Psychic Tarot. And over there, I do weekly, monthly, yearly, quarterly, and bonus readings for all 12 zodiac signs. So it's quite a lot of readings that you get per week if you're watching for your sun, moon, and rising signs. So go over there and check that out if you're wanting to support me further or to just enjoy those videos. And I also accept donations to the channel. All donations go back into the channel in the form of editing software, filming equipment, tarot cards, crystals, things like that. So I'm going to try to remember to leave the link to that in the description because I accidentally forgot to do that for like the past 100 videos I filmed. But yes, I do have all of those things. And then also, if you would like to support me further, go to my website, spiritpsychic.org. I have 3 apothecary items there. They're intention oils. I should have brought one over to show you. Essentially, you use them to anoint yourself, and it's really great for manifestation. All 3 of them are great for manifestation. I have a goddess energy intention oil, which, oh my gosh, I am telling you, you guys have to get that one if you're into your love life right now, because whenever I anoint myself with that, let me tell you, it just makes people absolutely crazy. It's not necessarily a love potion or love spell, but I have been accused of bewitching people before when I anointed myself with that. So be very careful with that one. It's very potent. The story I always tell is this one time, I was on a date. It wasn't even a first date. It was like a 5th date with someone, and they kept staring at me, and they were driving the car, and they almost got into a car accident because they kept staring at me after I anointed myself with that oil. And I just looked average. You know, I wasn't even special. And, I've also had multiple people blurt out that they love me when anointing myself with that oil, so be careful with that one. And then I also have the money and abundance oil, equally as powerful, but for attracting more wealth, prosperity, etc. And I'll tell you a personal story. This isn't to brag. This is just to show you how potent this is. I just started making that oil and releasing it this year. And this year I have already made all of the money through my business that I made last year. And it's only July. So definitely powerful as well. Be careful with that one. And then the third one I offer is the Third Eye Open intention oil. And that intention oil essentially just is a magnet for spiritual epiphanies and experiences. It is wonderful for keeping yourself spiritually protected and also attracting soulmates and fated opportunities. So again, equally as powerful. Be careful with that one. And of course, you know, my readings and my life coaching sessions. What was I going to say to you? I feel like I was going to say something to you. This is a really long outro. I guess I'll just leave it there since I can't remember. Okay, thank you guys. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome. Let's see who or what they felt the last time they saw you. You selected the Howlite. This is my favorite stone. This is exceptional at keeping you calm, keeping you grounded. So if you're ever having to deal with somebody who angers you on a regular basis, I highly recommend getting a piece of Howlite and just keeping it on you and touching it every time you feel yourself getting agitated, getting irritated. I love pressing it to my temples, my forehead. It's just an amazing calming stone. And also I believe that it's a little lucky because lucky things tend to happen to me whenever I carry it. We have the South Node coming out. Don't let your past hold you back. All right. So the last time this person met up with you and saw you, they may have been heavily thinking about their past, heavily thinking about some synchronicities that you have towards their past. For example, if any of you are asking about like a first date or a first time meeting somebody, they may have been thinking to themselves like, wow, it's so weird how sometimes the past repeats itself in the people that we meet, but depending on how much growth or not growth you've done, it could be like an upward spiral of synchronicities like that or a downward spiral. For example, like let's just say you go on a first date with somebody and they remind you a lot of their ex. However, since they dated that person, they've done a lot of healing and personal growth. So it's not like in a toxic way. It's just somehow the universe brought a person to them who like has all of these similar traits as somebody they used to know, but it could be like much, much, much more elevated. And I don't know. I was going to give you an example of this, but maybe this is too personal of an example. I'm going to tell you anyways. I dated somebody for a few years who was from a very specific country and had a specific birthday, as we all do. And then we broke up. And then after them, I met somebody who was from that same country on accident. Okay, because we met on a dating app and they did not say that they were a foreigner at all. And then after talking to them for like a while, I realized they were from that country, and then they told me they were from that country. Then we met up. Obviously, they have an accent and everything. So from the same country, and not a country that has a lot of immigrants where I'm at. And was born like 2 days before them and had the same degree. It was a little freaky. I gotta be honest. And I was thinking like there's clearly some sort of spiritual message and meaning here within this. And you know what? I think that happens because when you interact with something a lot, that energy sort of rubs off on you, and like energy attracts like energy. Do you know what I mean? So for example, if you have a lot of friends who are Nigerian, for example, and you're just randomly going about your business, randomly going about your day, and you have Nigerian people just coming up to you and talking, chatting away. And it's like, why do I seem to attract this certain type of person? You know, it's because you carry that energy. And like energy attracts like energy. So when you met up with this person, they were thinking to themselves, wow, this person has so much similarities to other people I've known, other experiences I have, or like you guys are just very similar in general, have a lot of similar experiences, similar stories. So they were definitely in awe about how your energy definitely matches up with their past and what they've experienced in the past. Now, a part of them probably is what I'm feeling like was overthinking that. I am getting a slight hesitation here because of that. Like, oh, but you know, this and that went wrong in my past and I don't want this to be another red flag. I feel like a lot of you are asking about first dates, or you have a long history with the person that you're asking about, and they're so caught up in what happened in your shared past that they aren't really allowing a fresh new start in the present moment. You know, we got to get more information. This isn't 100% bad yet. We're just taking a look into their mindset and where they were at when they were talking to you. Anxiety. Okay. Maybe it is bad. Maybe it is a little bad. They're really in their head when you were talking. Also, I'm wondering if some of you gotten into a fight with your person the last time you saw them that caused a lot of anxiety, fight over the past. There's a lot of different types of people who selected group number 2, so I'm sorry if this is a little bit all over the place. Deceit in reverse. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This person, this is what happened, okay? In the past, in their past, they have been lied to, cheated on, or felt really betrayed in some way. Okay? And now they're really, really, really in their head about trying to make it right, or trying to prove to you that they're not a liar, cheater, stealer, especially if they have done that themselves in the past and they told you about it. or they're trying to talk themselves out of automatically assuming that you're a liar, cheater, stealer. Just because you share some similar qualities to people who have lied, cheated on, and stole from them. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know. Let's just say their ex who cheated on them and stole all of their belongings had curly brown hair. And you have curly brown hair. They're like, oh, like the brain is weird. It honestly is. And this is how PTSD forms. Because the brain will take periods of massive pain in your life, and obviously those memories have connections to various other things, such as curly brown hair. And now that person may associate curly brown hair with being cheated on. Okay? They may associate Virgos with betrayal. You know what I mean? It's something like that. And obviously if you have a long troubled history with this person, they're very much still stuck on that past. Okay? So I'm just letting you in on that information. It seems like it's important for you to know that. They were not having necessarily a great time when it comes to their inner world and their mentality. The last time they saw you, they were really, really overthinking a lot. Borderline panicking. If this person struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder, I feel like they were trying hard not to have like flashbacks, not to have like a full-blown panic attack. Okay, or they were just struggling with that. I went through PTSD myself, and it's hard sometimes, you know, and sometimes you're not always conscious of when you're getting panicked and anxiety and triggered over things that don't really matter, you know. I think we all have a little PTSD, honestly. Every single one of us in various different ways. I think it needs to be studied more. You know, obviously there's extreme versions of it, but then there's also like, one thing I want to say is anybody who's been betrayed in a major way, guaranteed you have post-traumatic stress disorder or had post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay. That massive fear of being cheated on that wakes you up at night, that has you having nightmares, that has you being overly vigilant about people who you open your heart up to. Yeah, that is post-traumatic stress disorder for you. I'm not, somebody who can diagnose these things. I'm just chatting. And I don't know why I'm talking about these things either. This is just flowing through in the reading. This person may struggle with that. Okay, or you may struggle with that. One or both of you may struggle with that. And it was very prevalent the last time you met up. Third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. Confidence. It's all about confidence, baby. Bow, bow, bow. And she was a confident lady. And I know she's driving me crazy. Okay, you can look up that song and listen to the lyrics. It may really resonate with how this person felt the last time they saw you. There's something here about confidence, feeling like you are just extremely confident. There's a lot of energy as well. Here's the thing. For some of you, you could have literally been somewhere that was very like hustle and bustle with energy, like a lot of people around you, loud sounds, a lot of stimulation. And even if you're in like a library, the quietest place possible, their mind was so stimulated in sort of a negative way where it had that equivalent feeling of being in like the hustle and bustle, and like there's a lot of noise all over the place. I am seeing that, a lot of stimulation. Maybe they were feeling a little overstimulated the last time they saw you. Yeah, it wasn't the best for them. They're having a hard time trusting, just in general, not even you in particular, just in general. And for some of you, I'm wondering if this is you. Like you resonate with these feelings and they're just picking up on it from you. We have serendipity. Okay. I'm wondering if you were out and about, if you ran into somebody you knew, or they ran into someone they knew, or they had like stories to share, like, oh, one time at this location, so-and-so happened, Interesting. We have the owl, wisdom, hypervigilance. I keep coming back to that word, hypervigilance. They paid attention to like literally every little thing that you did, every little shift in your energy. and body language, the tone of voice that you use, everything. They paid attention to it. They saw everything. And we have the frog and lotus metamorphosis. Fascinating. This is definitely a reading where I want to get more clarity with the tarot, because there's a lot of interesting things happening here. Frogs are very spiritually significant, and as well as owls. These are both animals that really like to link up with people who are at that bridge between life and death. You know, so extremely spiritual people, witches, shamans, people of that nature. Frogs and owls tend to be important guides for them. And, you know, people don't have to necessarily be spiritually connected in that way, like conscious in that way, to have these guides there. These could also be people who are very sick, people who are dying, people who had a near-death experience, people who are traumatized, people who are dealing with quite a bit of mental health issues. And their mind, this is what they don't realize, their mind, when they're traveling off into all these unknown scenarios, into, you know, all these what ifs, that is a form of astral travel. I was just talking to someone about this the other day. You know, when you astral travel or astral project or shamanic journey or do a guided meditation or a visual meditation or even just imagine things, I firmly believe that all of these are doing the same thing. You're just going about it in different ways and in slightly different levels of consciousness. But I feel like they are all the same thing. And so somebody who does that a lot, they are vibrating at the existence of that bridge between life and death, physical and spiritual. Okay. And so this person, when you last met up with them, I feel like they weren't all there mentally. And by that, I mean, their mind was far off, thinking a lot about various other things. And, you know, their traumas, their troubles may have absolutely nothing to do with you, but you can't help it. You can't help thinking about it, you know? I kind of feel for this person because I feel like I was once this person. And even going on like first dates and meeting up with friends and stuff, I would always like stare off in deep thought or be like very heavily on edge for a long time until I fully trusted somebody. And I feel similar energy for this person. Very fascinating. We have the 5 of Wands coming out upright. And this could indicate a little bit of jealousy, which would make a lot of sense. This person, if this person, you know, was betrayed in the past, their mind might be hypervigilant when it comes to things to be worried about or potential indications of betrayal, things like that. Something else I noticed, and I'm not saying this is your person, but I just want to talk about it, is even people who do the cheating, who commit the betrayals, they think they're getting away with it, but that haunts them for the rest of their lives in ways that they don't realize. Because I am telling you, cheaters are some of the most paranoid people I've ever met in my life and have almost zero trust in partners. Like, they are some of the most jealous, paranoid people I have ever met when it comes to their romantic relationships. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Even if they're not somebody who cheats to this day, but like, let's say they have a long, extensive history of cheating, because I feel like all of us subconsciously project ourselves onto the world. So if they are somebody who has done extensive cheating in the past, they're going to be haunted basically for the rest of their life, thinking that everyone is going to cheat on them and nobody can be trusted, which is crazy. Like, they're going to have to do a ton of inner work if that's the case. I'm not saying that's the case for this particular person. If you know them to have that history and it makes sense, then take it. If you don't know them to have that history, then this might not be their message at all. They could have been lied to, cheated on, etc. Okay, but they have, both scenarios can cause a lot of jealousy or a lot of like feeling like you're crazy, like crazy obsessed with someone, you know? Like, how do I put this? it takes years to heal from those things, I believe. And even if it's a friendship, you know, it's like, how dare you go out and spend time with another person? Or if you spend time with another person, it could be like, oh, is this a sign that they don't like me? You know, that sort of worry. Is this a sign that they don't view me as a friend? This person has extreme hypervigilance, and I think it's paired with this sort of intensity, this intense worry that people don't like them, or that people can't be trusted. And here's the interesting thing. It doesn't come from a lack of confidence, because I feel like they are confident in themselves. This is a very complicated mind, a very complicated person with very complicated emotions. Actually, let's just get some more cards. And it's interesting, this duality, because over here we have the anxiety, the past haunting them. And then over here we have serendipity and love and light, flowers and animals and cuteness. So I think they hide this incredible amount of darkness beneath the surface, and they project this image of being the loud, charming, charismatic person, or like the cute, quaint, adorable person, you know, colorful, funny, etc. I think the universe always seeks out balance in that way, and that's why I always feel guided to tell people, like, check up on your funny friends. Check up on your friends who always do things for other people. Check up on the nicest people you've ever met, because chances are they've been badly wounded in the past, or they carry a lot of emotions within. Okay, definitely those are the people we want to shower with the most love and affection, because they take that darkness and they still choose good. They don't let that darkness turn them into a bad person. I bet you weren't really expecting this. You know, you could be saying, but Laura, we literally just went like bowling and had a great time and then went home. Yeah. Some people have tremendous depth within them, and it doesn't matter if you are doing something casual and quaint and lighthearted. They carry this emotional intensity within them everywhere they go. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I am wondering what your intuition says about this person, group number 2. More than anything else, I'm wondering what your intuition says about them. Because the Queen of Pentacles in reverse can sometimes represent somebody who lacks change or is a little bit stuck in life. 4 of Swords. Yes, needing rest, needing recovery, needing a break. And here's the funny thing. Sometimes this energy can mirror itself in relationships. And so I'm wondering if you are both people who really just need to give it a break. Whatever it is, you know. If any of you, and this is a random message for some people who need to hear it, but if any of you find yourself constantly in a cycle of dating and being disappointed, it may be worthwhile to take a break from dating entirely and just be by yourself and see where that takes you. Or if you're constantly just getting hit by drama and bad luck over and over and over again, that may be your sign to just, you know what, keep your head down for a little bit and focus on you. Focus on your own growth and healing, and stop trying to pour so much energy into other people. Fascinating. All right, let's see what else wants to come out. You know, the last time you saw each other, there could have even have been some deep discussions about your pasts, your histories. Very dark. 10 of Swords. Wow. Ending, finality, loss. This person was very depressed and anxious the last time they saw you, even if they didn't tell you. I'm getting distraught feelings here. Thinking about history, thinking about the past, thinking about everything they've went through and everything that you've went through. We have the King of Cups in reverse. Ooh, and we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. I do not like the King of Pentacles in reverse. I got to be honest with you, because, or really the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. These are both pretty bad. And I'm wondering if this is more of like a karmic type of connection that you have with this person. But the King of Cups in reverse is somebody who can be emotionally manipulative. Okay, and they do that from this same type of place where they sort of project this image of being this good person, this lovey-dovey energy, this whatever, and they are that, don't get me wrong, but they're just troubled emotionally, and they just are begging for somebody to see them and to help them and to give them attention and to heal. And they may do some accidentally like emotionally manipulative things for that reason, or there could be an emotional intensity here with them that is just a little bit overwhelming, too overwhelming. This was not a lighthearted meetup, even if it was supposed to be. This was very emotionally intense, at least for them. We're looking into their heart, their mind, their world. Emotionally intense. Troubled on the inside. And we see two people here, the feminine and masculine. The feminine here, even if you're two women, even if you're two men, it doesn't matter. You could both carry these traits within you, or you could carry one, they could carry the other. But the feminine here, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, this is somebody who keeps having the same problems over and over and over again, the same story of lack over and over and over again, and they're not making the changes that they need to make in order to overcome that lack. And they keep tolerating the same bad behavior over and over and over again. For some of you, this could be you. Then on the other hand, we have Emotional Manipulator 101 over here with a deep emotional intensity that is just too strong. It's exhausting. It's an exhausting type of energy. And even with the Ten of Swords, we're seeing exhaustion. Four of Swords needing rest. Oh my gosh. I don't know what the heck happened to you guys last time you met up. But this person was going through it. Six of Pentacles in reverse also is an unfair give and take. So I'm wondering if this person emotionally drains you. Or vice versa, to be honest. There's definitely someone here who's giving a lot more than they're receiving. And I don't know. This is just, I don't even feel like doing this reading anymore. I'm going to be honest, because I'm starting to get emotionally exhausted from this, from tuning into their energy. It's like swarms of darkness. It's so crazy. It's crazy to think, because I kind of resonate with this person, like from the past, like when me in the past, I kind of resonate with this person, not entirely, but a little bit. And I'm looking back at that and I'm like, how the heck did I operate from that place of existence? Oh my gosh, so tiring, so exhausting. But you have to move through that darkness and grow through it. And that may be where they're at right now in life, where they have a lot of darkness to grow through. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be with them every step of the journey here, to be honest, especially if your own growth involves not being around people who are like that, I guess you could say. If your own growth involves you just focusing on yourself, pouring into yourself. So, I don't know. I'm wondering if any of you watching are kind of debating on releasing or letting go of this person. And with the Ten of Swords, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you watching, the last time you met up with them, you literally broke up with them due to past drama and things like that, you know, them acting out on mental health and whatnot. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, you're a crappy person if you leave somebody because of their mental health. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Let me tell you, because there is nothing more draining and exhausting in life than having to put up with somebody who has really struggling mental health day in and day out, and they are not doing anything about it. Like if somebody is actively doing something about it, seeking help, healing in whatever way, like journaling, whatever it is, like that's fine. Like I will be your friend until the day we die. But there is nothing more draining, exhausting, and emotionally manipulative than dealing with someone, for example, who has intense depression, anxiety, PTSD, and instead of trying, either suffering by themselves or trying to do little things here and there to improve that, they just instead complain to you day in and day out, make it your problem. No, get rid of those people. I'm sorry, get rid of those people. They have to figure it out on their own if that's what they're doing. And honestly, by staying with people like that, you're enabling it. You're enabling them not actually getting help. You're enabling them using you as an emotional dumping ground and not actually doing what they need to do to cope with this, you know, learn the healthy coping mechanisms, learn healthy processing skills. These are basic human things that we need to do as adults. We need to learn as adults. And when you let people be that emotional dumping ground for you and exhaust you and drain you, you're only enabling that further. And also, if you're somebody who lets that happen to you frequently, you equally need to work on yourself because you have poor boundaries, okay? You need to start learning how to give more to yourself. Fascinating. You're both needing a metamorphosis moment here, this lotus moment, growing through the mud and seeing your way through. Now, the highest of vibrating people here, the most evolved of people here, this may be a meetup that you had where the two of you talked about this journey that we just went through and had like a very high level intellectual conversation about it. See, there's so many layers and levels of people watching right now. You may have had a discussion about all of this past stuff that you went through, darkness that you both went through, and it could have been a healing discussion. So many layers, so many levels, so many different people watching. Very interesting. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Definitely comment how it resonated down below. I'd love to hear your stories. I'd love to hear what happened the last time you met up and how this resonated, if you feel comfortable sharing that. And of course, like this video. All of your likes, all of your comments, they help boost the algorithm for this channel, sharing these videos with more and more people. And I'm trying to grow this channel because I'm sick of people commenting and asking, why don't you have more subscribers? I don't know. I don't advertise the channel. I don't post love readings every day. I don't know. You guys help me out if you want that. Okay. And definitely subscribe if you've not already. I also have my second channel, Spirit Psychic Tarot. If you want to go over there and subscribe, you will have weekly, daily, monthly, quarterly, yearly readings for each zodiac signs. And I'm about to start doing bonus readings, hopefully in August as well. So go over there to check that out. And if you're watching for your sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, that's like a lot of videos a week. So definitely enjoy that. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there. The intention oils are amazing, guys. You use them to anoint yourself. I have my goddess energy oil, money and abundance oil, and third eye open oil. I forgot the name of it for a second. And they do what they sound like they do. And they're all very, very potent and powerful. I was just telling group number 1 about all of my stories. If you want to check out the end, like the last few minutes of group number 1's video, you can hear my stories about how these oils have changed my life. But yeah, go definitely check them out for yourself as well. Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome. Let's see what they felt the last time you saw each other. You selected the rose quartz. This is a lovely stone just for love or romance in general. It really radiates this strong sort of romantic vibe. And it's really great for self-care, self-love in general. You have the North Node step out of your comfort zone. So I am wondering if something that you did or talk about the last time you saw them was a little bit out of their comfort zone. For example, like let's just say the last time you saw each other, you went out dancing, and they don't normally go out dancing, but they did it for you. You know, also I'm feeling an energy here that is like they're just so much more willing to live life with you. Does that make sense? Like they're just so much more willing to open up and try things that they've never experienced before because of you or with you. Like you have this very fiery sort of personality, fiery sort of energy that you radiate, that they love being around, because they always feel great after seeing you, because you expand their horizons, even just in conversation. Like you make them think things that they haven't considered before. You make them realize things they haven't considered before, and you always have a unique perspective that they really strongly value. So this person really enjoys being around you, and you really do help them grow and help them, you know, expand their consciousness, because you don't push them necessarily, but they do things they've never considered before because of you. They realize things they've never realized before because of you and your interesting perspective on life itself. So let's see what else comes out. We have the 7th chakra in reverse with Archangel Uriel. This is the crown chakra, which is feeling dumb. Honestly, like you have a lot of, and look, even the colors match. You're incredibly intelligent. They think that you are so smart. You have a lot you can teach them. The only thing here is, you know, they wish they had more interesting things to talk about, more interesting things to say. I'm wondering if there could have been like a tiny thought of wanting you to ask them more questions, or wanting you to show more interest in, you know, what's going on in their life. We have the Angel of Strength. Wow. I keep coming back to like beautiful conversations, wonderful openness between you. This is how they feel after they're with you. Strong, powerful. They view you as this sort of angel of strength with strong opinions, strong perspective, like no nonsense, but it's rooted in intelligence. You're giving off Athena energy. And also, I don't necessarily feel like this is a conscious thought in their mind, but for some of you, you might be thinking, like, how can I make people feel more important? Like, this may be something you think to yourself when you talk to others. How can I make other people feel more important? How can I support other people? How can I make men, for example, feel very manly, very like appreciated? How can I make women feel heard and seen and respected? It's a beautiful way to go about. It's a beautiful mindset to be in when you are about to spend time with people. And I feel like it really goes a long way for you, group number 3. And definitely works tremendously. We have Journey. Wow. I am wondering if the last time you met each other or met up with each other, you were traveling together, doing something like exceptional, like a day trip, or you may have been discussing those things, discussing recent trips you've been on. They may have been discussing recent trips they've been on, and one or both of you may have even suggested, what if we go on a trip together? What if we do something together? And it's a really cool thought, a really exciting perspective, really very interesting. Yeah. I feel like they want to travel with you. They want to go on trips with you, even if it's not like far. Like, they just want somebody to like go to little museum dates and coffee shops and parks and places like that. Like, they want to explore more, and I feel like they really, really want to do those things with you. Very beautiful. Okay. They just want to spend more time with you. We have Treasure Island. They treasure you. Yeah, they really enjoy your energy. It's fun to be around you. That's the word I was looking for. It's fun to be around you. Because there's certainly so many people in the world where it's like you can have deep conversations and really understand each other on an emotional level, but you don't necessarily have a lot of fun with them, I guess you could say. Like they don't. And you know what? I feel like people who are like this they tend to be people who don't really bring any ideas to the table. You know, it's like, and I'm just going to rant a little bit because this might have something to do with the last time you met each other. For me, like, I'm full of great ideas. Like, there's so many things I want to do. And if the closer I get to somebody, the more I'm like, we should do this. We should do that. Like, let's do this together. Pick a date. We'll do it. And if that energy isn't reciprocated, or if like somebody doesn't really at least like pull through with my ideas, you know, it's always like, oh, well, I'm busy or blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. I just view them type of people as like boring. And I guess that's an example of what you aren't to this person. Like, you are not boring. They really treasure you. And they have so many things that they want to do with you. Bats, beautiful, seeing in the dark. There is a little bit of a deeper spiritual connection they feel here as well. Like, words don't necessarily have to be exchanged in order to pick up what you're putting down. I think they read your body language very well. And also with the full moon here, there is strong emotions that they may have towards you. I just can't emphasize it. Like, the word fun keeps wanting to come out. Like, they just have so much fun with you. We have the Ram and Dahlia, determination. You know, I am picking up, honestly, for quite a few of you, a strong sensual attraction as well. I don't know why that just came through with the Ram and the Dahlia, but I think Dahlias represent beauty and just like extreme levels of beauty. I love drawing dahlias. They're probably my favorite flower to draw. There was like a year where I only drew flowers. I didn't draw anything else, and I just love them so much. And I think they're viewing you as this beauty energy. And then the Ram, which is a very masculine sort of animal. I feel like how do I put this? Your yin energy really complements their yang energy, or vice versa, you know? And, you know, I don't give two craps about gender. Like, I could care less how somebody identifies or how they choose to dress, or like machoism, I feel like destroyed common sense in a lot of people. Yin and yang isn't about that though. Like, I feel like you complement each other because, I don't know why, I'm just getting this person wants to be somebody who pulls through. They want to be somebody who can be relied upon and can support others. And then what you bring to the table, and I feel like you do this very consciously because you're like a master at charm, is you compliment them a lot on the things that you know they want to be complimented on. How do I even put what I'm trying to say? Like, you can psychically pick up on other people's insecurities, and without illuminating to them that you are aware of their insecurities, you will naturally like rizz them up to make them feel really, really good about themselves. Like, for example, let's just say you subconsciously, and this is a really random example, pick up that somebody's insecure about their feet. You'll pick up on that psychically without them knowing. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, you have the cutest feet I've ever seen. Like, I love your pedicure. Honestly, like, you have them, you could be like a foot fetish model and make billions of dollars. You know what I mean? Like, you have this funny way of raising people up on the things that they feel insecure about. And you make people feel really, really great about themselves. And I feel like you are sort of this dahlia here, complementing the yang masculine energy this other person tries to give off. And it's like, you see what they're trying to do or how they want to be perceived, and you consciously will yourself to acknowledge that and perceive them in that way and make it known that you perceive them in that way. You know, like, oh, thank you so much for paying for my dinner. Like, I just love how provided for you make me feel, you know, because, you know, that's the thing that's going to get to them. Or thank you so much for just dolling yourself up and looking beautiful. You know, I feel like $1,000,000 with a beautiful woman like you on my arm. Like, it makes me feel so proud to show you off to the world. And you know, that's exactly what they want to hear. You know what I mean? Like, you are a genius at making people feel good, no matter how they want to feel. Or if you really, and here's the thing, you're psychic about this. It's hard to describe logically because it's literally something that you psychically pick up on. And I don't even think you recognize this as a psychic talent. But like, even if you notice that somebody, for example, is really passionate about, I don't know, like politics and progressiveness and community, and they go out of their way to make these long-winded posts and everything, trying to educate people, you know, saying something like, I just love being around somebody who has such an influence on other people and such a positive impact on the world, and somebody who educates others and leads us all to a better society. Like, it is just so interesting talking to someone like you, and I'm so happy to have someone like you in my life. Oh my gosh. You have this magic gift, guys. This magic gift, and it's enticing. Like, you are addicting to be around for a lot of people, not just this person. Okay. We have the Hierophant coming out upright, literally popping out. Yeah. Spiritual guru, spiritual teacher. Very wise energy, especially with the crown chakra here as well. I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of you who select the group number 3 are very well accomplished. Okay. You could be some of my fellow spiritual healers, shamanic practitioners, people like that. You could also be a teacher, therapist, professor, researcher, scientist, something of that nature, something very crown chakra oriented. You carry a lot of confidence. You're in this sort of position of authority because you know a lot about a lot, but especially one particular subject. And as I mentioned, like, the Hierophant is a card of teaching others, leading others, and you really taught this person a lot the last time they saw you. Like, they started considering things in a new light the last time they saw you. Seeing themselves in a new light the last time they saw you. Beautiful. The Hierophant also can sometimes represent marriage. So I'm wondering, for some of you, if you are in a romantic connection with someone, you literally make them feel so good about themselves that they're thinking about like keeping you for the long haul. And, you know, I saw this very important quote that said, people don't remember you for your accomplishments. They remember you for how you made them feel about themselves. And that's so impactful. Because, you know, you can have amazing accomplishments, but if you just take up the whole conversation, talking, yapping away, and not making the other person feel heard or seen or respected, like, they're not going to value anything you're saying. They're going to forget everything you're saying, and they're not going to view you as a credible or nice person. We have the 5 of Cups coming out. Very interesting. This is a card about being stuck on the past. So I'm wondering if there was a conversation that may have illuminated to them that you might not necessarily be over someone, or you may still be talking to someone from your past. Okay, I am wondering that, if they picked up on certain things you were saying and sort of read a little bit deeper into them. Wondering if you, I don't know, may still have people around or something like that. We have the Moon in reverse. Wow. Absolute confusion, not knowing where things are going. Whoo! Not knowing where the future lies with you, really. We have the Page of Cups. Yes, there's definitely feelings being sparked here. Feelings of friendship, feelings of romance, like they want to spend more time with you. But there's complications here with the Moon in reverse. So they could be moving, for example, or you could be moving, or there could be some sort of uncertainty in one or both of your futures. But yeah, Page of Cups is a really great card. because it really shows that sort of flow, you know. Have you ever drank alcohol and you just can't stop talking and you have like a really great conversation with someone, but you're not like drunk? You know what I mean? I'm getting that sort of level of intoxication. So I'm wondering if literally you were that level of intoxicated with each other, or, I mean, they just kind of felt that way, like intoxicated by you and the conversation. We have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. I don't know why I keep getting a lot of readings recently where it just feels like the other person that we're doing the reading on has certain insecurities, like that get in the way of them having good friendships or relationships. Insecurities that they don't have enough, that they aren't enough, you know, their job isn't good enough. With the 7th chakra, crown chakra in reverse here as well, I feel like some of the conversation you may have had with this person may have went over their head, or they may not have understood. And they may have felt like, oh, I don't think I'm necessarily enough for this person, or I'm at their level. We have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Fascinating. Because I feel like 3 of Pentacles in reverse is like not feeling seen or appreciated. But then we just went off on that whole long tangent about how you make people feel seen for the things that they try to be seen for. But I'm wondering if you're consistent enough in that. Like, you may give really great compliments to someone, for example, but maybe, I don't know, maybe you need to ask more questions about someone or get them talking more, or be grateful for the effort that they put in or something like that. I don't know. It's very interesting. But this could also be just rooted in their own insecurities here, feeling like they'll never have or be enough to impress you. Why do I keep picking up on this type of energy in readings recently, man? It's like an epidemic of insecurity. I can't stand it. You know, I feel like insecurity is the root of a ton of relationship and friendship issues. But also, I mean, it's natural for it to come up in the beginning of connections. So if you've known this person for less than 3 years, I would say, then I wouldn't worry too much about it, unless it's really glaring. But they're really impressed with you. Last time they saw you, they were really, really impressed with you. Another thing I'm wondering, I don't know if I should say this out loud. I'm wondering if any of you, you know, took this person to the bedroom. If they were so impressed by you that they sort of finished very early, let's just put it like that, and they were feeling really weird about that. First off, there's no reason to feel weird by that, I feel like. And there are some people, specifically straight men, not all of them, obviously, but there are some of them that for some reason thinks that like once they finish, everything's finished, even if the other person hasn't finished. And it's like, there's a lot more you can do. Like, you got hands, you got a mouth, you got the rest of your body to work with. Like, come on. Literally. Like, anyways, that might not resonate with everyone, but this person has the hots for you for sure. Like, or at the very least, they really enjoy your friendship. They want to be your friend a lot more. They want to hang out more. But like, let's just say, for example, that they have a busy work schedule. They don't make that, or okay, let's just say they don't make that much money. They want to see you more, but they're insecure about the fact that they don't have that much money. And they're like, oh, well, going out costs money. Like, taking them out on the dates that they deserve and going the places they want. And, you know, you may be talking about travel and whatnot, and they're like, going on those trips, they all cost a lot of money. I don't have that money. So I got to work hard and hard and hard. And then you might not necessarily, you, group number 3, might feel like this person doesn't like you because they're not seeing you. And it's like, no, they're just insecure. And they don't realize like, oh, we can just hang out and not spend money. We can just hang out and, you know, keep it cash when it comes to the materialistic things. Yeah, I don't know. They really like you though. Work it out amongst yourselves. Thank you for joining me. Group number 3. If I were you, I would definitely reassure this person of their insecurities. Be like, hey, like, you know, if times are tough, you know, we don't have to go out and do anything fancy. Like, I just want to be around you. I think that's what they need to hear, guys. That's what it is. We're finally picking it up. They need to hear that you just want to be around them, to spend time with them, even if it's not anything super duper fancy. All right. Super duper expensive. Anyways, thanks for joining me. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'd love to hear what actually happened the last time you saw each other, if you feel comfortable sharing. And of course, your likes and everything, they all help the channel out so tremendously, because when you like, when you comment, when you reply to other people's comments, you're boosting the algorithm, boosting the engagement on this video, which sends this video for others to watch. And of course, we want to grow this community here. And so I just appreciate all of that so much. And I appreciate everyone who subscribed. You're amazing. You're making my dreams come true. And if you want to support me and support the channel, you can leave a donation, which I'm going to hope to remember to put in the description box, because I forgot to do that for so many videos. And all donations go back into the channel in the form of like editing software, equipment, things like that. I just found out in the middle of your reading that my biggest memory card has broken. So I definitely need a new one of those. If you want to leave a donation, I will definitely use that to get a memory card, which allows me to film way more, because I don't have to wait for the other memory card to be cleared up and edited and all of that. So yeah, I'm just babbling now, but leaving a donation definitely helps. Or you can go to my website and get yourself a personal reading with me one-on-one, which helps me pay my bills. Okay, that is my job, y'all. Help me pay my bills. I'm looking to get a new car, so I appreciate all the business there. I also have my intention oils, which are handcrafted by me, no one else, and I make them to order for you with your energy in mind. I have a goddess energy intention oil, which helps you radiate just goddess divine energy, and let me tell you, that is powerful. Be very careful with that one, because like I said to group number 1, I've almost gotten into a car accident because I was on like a 5th date and the dude kept staring at me, almost crashed his car. I've had people randomly blurt out that they love me while anointed with that oil. I've had random like 70-year-old priests come up and try flirting with me with that oil on. So be careful with it, guys. It's very powerful. It does command a room. It does command energy. Wonderful for dates though, I gotta say. If you want to enchant someone and make them feel like they're just under your spell, definitely get that intention oil. Then I have the Money and Abundance intention oil, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is an oil that you can anoint yourself or your objects with to just radiate more finances. And a story about that is I actually just started making that this year. And the first time I ever used that, like the very first time I anointed myself with it, my second channel randomly got like 1,000 subscribers and was able to be monetized. My second channel is called Spirit Psychic Tarot, if you're interested. And essentially like within 6 months, I made the same amount that I made the previous year, plus some. So it really helped me grow my business. So that's really great too, very powerful. And then there is the Third Eye Chakra intention oil, which you can use to anoint yourself. And that is amazing because it keeps you spiritually protected, for one, but it also helps attract spiritual experiences and epiphanies, soulmates, just destined things into your life. It's so amazing. Very beautiful. I have a lot of spiritual and mental clarity from that one. And I really discovered peace, like complete and utter peace, after I started anointing myself with that oil. So I love all 3 of them, and so I'm just bragging about them so you can love them as well. If you're international, I don't blame you if you don't want to buy them, because let me tell you, international shipping is a nightmare. I mean, it's easy, but man, it's expensive sometimes. So even though I offer international shipping, if you cannot afford it, don't feel pressured to buy anything like that. However, one thing that isn't really affected by that is my readings, because they're all online. And I love to connect with people from anywhere, all over the world, and do a personal reading with you one-on-one. A lot of the readings I offer, you can ask your own questions and rant to me about whatever's going on in your life, and I will do the reading centered around what you want. So it's really cool. And I also have other readings that are more structured, with a tarot spread, or like more compatible for like a general reading as well. And even, you know, you can even set the intention, I don't have any questions, just give me a general reading. I can do that too. It's really up to you. And the readings, in my opinion, are perfect because if you're antisocial like me, or you have a busy schedule like me, they're so perfect because all you have to do is order a reading, email me your information, your questions, backstory, whatever you want, really. And I'll just do your reading. I'll just film it and then send it to you within 7 days of you purchasing it. And you'll get a link. It'll take you to an unlisted YouTube video, and then you'll have like a nice YouTube video reading that you can come back to whenever you want. No one else can see it unless you share the link with anyone. Only me and you can see it. So it's just very beautiful offering. I hope you can all get that. Anyways, I could really use the support right now. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Yeah, I'm not going to go off on what's going on in my life, but I can really use the support. All right. Thank you so much to everyone who's already supported. It means the world to me, and anyone who wants to support in the future, I thank you in advance. Bye-bye.